So, good evening, everyone. I'm Omkar, and topic today I will be covering is DNS. So, DNS stands for Domain Name System. By default, it uses an port 53 of UDP protocol. The DNS, in layman term, if I talk, it is just an phone book of an internet where every domain is mapped to a particular IP address. For example, if you hit and www.zomato.com, for you it is a zomato.com, but for computer or for the machine it is a numbers. So converting this zomato.com to the particular IP address is a work of a DNS, the domain name system. Now, how it works? There are basically two types of working groups, or the two types of queries, if I say, the authoritative one and the non-authoritative one. Non-authoritative is also known as the recursive query. Let's just take an example. Let's go back to an era of letters where you want to deliver a letter to one of your friends who lives in an area A. To deliver this letter, you need to mention the address on that particular and you mention the name on the letter. This reaches to the post office A, and the post office it has been received. Now the postman at this particular post office, the very first thing he will do, he will recollect his memories. He will recollect the moment whether he has delivered this any letter to this particular address earlier as well or not. If he recounts his memory, well, he will deliver the letter straightforward. If he doesn't recount his memory, he will start searching his records. He will start searching his register for this particular address mapped to this particular name. He will just imagine the postman is flipping up the pages and is looking for a particular address. He finds the address. Now it comes to you and he delivers the letter. This address has also been stored in his memory. Anytime any of the letter which comes for this address, he doesn't have to look at the register. He will straightforward come to your doorstep. So this approach is known as an authoritative DNS server, where the address which was at the particular area itself, that is area A, the letter has been received at the post office A itself, and it has only solved the query, or it has only delivered your address, deliver the letter at your address. So this is an authoritative answer. Now you live at area B. The letter has been received at post office A itself. The postman, the very first thing, he has recollected his memory. Whether at this particular address has he delivered the letter, any letter earlier as well. If he doesn't found, he starts searching his records, starts searching his register. He's just flipping up the pages. Even if he doesn't found this address on that, the register has ended. Now he will call his headquarters, the post office of India. The post office of India says, okay, he sends the post office of India sends it to the other post office or the main sub branch post office of area B. Then the sub branch post office sends it to the post office of B area. Now the post office of B area knows this address and it resolves the query. So this is basically a non-authoritative answer where your query has or your letter has traveled to the root, then to the top level domain, and then it has gone to the authoritative server, and then it has been resolved. So these are the two types of queries, non-authoritative and authoritative. Non-authoritative is also known as the recursive query. So if anyone asks you in the interview, like what is non-authoritative? Just say it's a recursive query wherein a DNS server or the DNS server of your, which is defined in your network, does not find the query to this, does not find the answer to this query. He starts hunting for this query at the other locations. Now we will see the practical approach of the DNS server. So let me just share my screen. So this is my DNS server, which I have configured. For that, I have used my Debian machine and I have used the flavor buster. And I have the package which I have used for the DNS server is bind. The full form of bind is Berkeley Internet Domain. It's a quite famous package for the DNS in the Linux. I have just come into this directory of the bind and let's see the files which are there in it. The file which are important to us is this db.omkar.com. This is just a copy of db.local. Second, the file which is important for us is name.conf.local, where we define our zones. First, let's see that db. This is an db.local by default, which comes in your bind package. You need to modify this file into your own records. So this db.omkar.com file is replica of this file itself with the modification of the entries. So this is an db.omkar.com. Now here the some terms are quite important. The SOA. This is a start of authority record. So basically, this server holds an authoritative answer for these much entries. And this is a name server. And this is my entry, which has been mapped to this particular IP address. Now we will see at the client side whether we are able to resolve this IP address or not. And the other file which we will see is name.com.co. So this is a zone file where we define our zone. This is my zone, omkar.com. Type faster means the server is an authoritative answer to it. And the location of the file, etc, that is the etc bind and name of the file. So it has to pick up the entries of that IP address or that domain from this particular file. The zone has been defined. Now we will just check at the client side whether we are able to resolve these queries or not. For that, we will use two tools. The first is a DIG, Domain Internet Grapher. It's a quite famous tool which is used to resolve a DNS query. The second we will use is NSLookup, which just tells answers in 4 to 5 lines. The DIG tool will tell you the deep answer of it. First, we need to define a client that what is our DNS server, and we will also see what is authoritative and non-authoritative answer. First, we will see what is a non-authoritative answer. So this is a non-authoritative answer. I have run this command nslookup for this particular domain. The IP address which it is showing is this, and the answer to it is non-authoritative. So just remember the Postman example. What is non-authoritative? The query has not been resolved by this DNS server. It has been resolved by some other DNS server, and the entry has been found. So it is a non-authoritative answer, or what we say the recursive answer. The DNS server for this client is this as of now. We will change this server and we will see what is there. We will also now I will also show you this non-authoritative answer, how it has traveled from root server to top level domain server to this authoritative server. So I've run this command, click plus trace and a domain. So it will trace this particular path. The very first thing it will do is go to the root server. So these all are the root servers. The root server will say he knows the root server, one of the root server resolves this query to .com server. These .com servers are these are the top level domain server, TLD servers. Out of these TLD, the .com servers, one of it resolves it to the authoritative servers. And out of this authoritative servers, one of it resolves to an IP address, where it shows that this www.omkar.com has an A record for this IP address. And it has been resolved by our H3 thinktechnologyservices.com server, which is their authoritative server for this particular domain. This H3 has been resolved by the k.root servers. So it has traveled the path of root server to top level domain server, then an authoritative servers, and now the query has been resolved. Just imagine in the way of Postman, the example which I gave you earlier. The dig commands helps you a lot to understand this, how it has traveled. It's quite easy to understand. Now we will see what is an authoritative access. See, I've run this NS lookup and I've defined the server. These commands tell that this Debian machine has to use DNS server of this IP address. That is the IP, the DNS server which I have configured. And you must remember, they both should be able to communicate. And this has resolved this address www.omkar.com to this particular IP address. This address 80.50. Even in DNS server, you can see the entry doesn't map www.omkar.com for this particular IP address. So this is an authoritative answer. See the difference. This is the NS lookup which I have run even before. And see, here there is different non-authoritative one and authoritative. This is an authoritative answer. Also, we will see by running the dig command what difference we found. See, dig commands will also tell us the output of it, that this is an authoritative one. This flag tells us, the no error tells us that the query has been resolved, and the answer section tells us that is www.omkar.com as this a record for this particular address. It also tells us authoritative section where it tells us the name server of it. The same name server you will find at this file. And you will also find the name server address. So this is basically we have seen how the authoritative answers work and how the non-authoritative answers work. The DNS servers is a backbone of internet. Today, we humans are using domains quite frequently. The morning we wake up to the night we sleep, we are surrounded by the domains. These domains are converted into an IP address all thanks to DNS server. The DNS servers is the only thing which is responsible for converting this domain name into an IP address. Just imagine a situation where you don't have a DNS server, or there is no technology, or there is nothing called DNS. Now, as a human, you have to remember a lot of IP address for the domains. But just see, if you have to reach www.omkar.com, you have to remember the IP address. This is quite hectic. So DNS server has made the life of human being quite easy. It easily resolves our queries into an IP address. So I hope you have liked this video. So as of now, I finished this, and just try this practical in the Debian machine itself, where you need to do VMs, configure your own DNS server, also configure the client, and try to see what answers you get. Also see the authoritative one, non-authoritative one, and try to read this. Thank you.